as in last time, at the last session, we are at the tumo. Yeah, we are talking about the tumo, the inner heat. Yeah. So before starting today's session, so we go through the once again the refuge bodhicitta prayer. Okay. Sanje Chedan Soji Chonam La Changshu Bardu Dane Gyabsu Che Dagi Jingso Jibe Senam Gendrola Penshire Sanje Druparasho Sanje Chedan Soji Chonam La Changshu Bardu Dane Gyabsu Che Dagi Jingso Jibe Senam Gendrola Penshire Sanje Druparasho Sanje Chedan Soji Chonam La Changshu Bardu Dane Gyabsu Che Dagi Jingso Jibi Senam Jindrola Penche Sanje Drupara Shu Semchen Tamchen Dewa Tang Dewe Judang Dembara Gyurji Dungal Dang Dungal Jin Judang Chavala Gyurji Dungal Mebe Dewa Tamba Tang Mentre Vara Gyurji Nire Chadang Nidang Trave Tanyam Chembola Yirindu Nebara Gyurji Semche Tamche Dewa Tang Dewe Judang Dembara Gyurji Dungal Dang Dungal Gi Judang Chalwara Gyurji Dungal Mebe Dewa Tamba Tang Mendel Vara Gyurji Nire Chadang Nidang Trave Tanyam Chembola Yirindu Nebara Gyurji Semche Tamche Dewa Tang Dewe Judang Dembara Gyurji Dungal Dan Dungal Jin Judang Chalwara Gyurji Dungal Mebe Dewa Tamba Tang Mendela Vara Gyurji Nire Chadang Nidang Trave Tanyam Chembo La Yurindo Nebara Gyurji Chasal Wadang Chichen Shapa Tang Jisu Yiran Gushin Solwa Yi Gewa Jungsen Dagi Jirsa Ba Tamchen Zobe Changchung Chermo Sa Shi Pichu Chujin Medo Cham Rirab Lingshi Nide Gembande Sanje Shingdo Mikde Bulwa Yin Drokun Namda Shingla Shebara Sho Guru Yidam Ratna Mandala Kamnire yada ya me semche namje samba tang lo yi che tra che tara wa che chon ten mon te wa yi che ji kor lo kor do so. Men che yi ji po chang ne te tum san ji gong ji ngo ni rang sum she gong ngo zum ten ze be za we la me shab lo so wan de Alden za we la ma rinpoche da ge ni gar pe me sem ru la nda lo me pa ta khur chong ne ja Kusung tu je jin je lab tu su, yin de sang je gun da nyam na yang, ka zhin sang je tong le lao gun gun, za we la me zhe lo so an de. Da so lo na che lan zhong wa re, shu nang ka tang yin pe sim chen tam chi ki tun tu. Nam kien zo pe sang je go bang rin pu she to gra cha de che tu da ki, ta re da pe che sa mo se ne. Nyam so lang wa re gi wo, nyam de tong wa re, kun lo chang ju cho tu sem kien ne sem par za. Hey. So last time that we are talking about the inner heat, yeah, inner heat, which is the uh, main first practice from the 6 yogas of the Naropa. Yeah. 6 yoga of Naropa, or we can call it the 6 special dharma of Naropa, that the practice which, if we really practice very much seriously, or we practice with very much with the pure devotion, belief, yeah? With a strong devotion, or with a strong belief, that which is no any doubt, yeah, no any doubt of any kind of negative, you can call it the negative kind of thought, yeah, with negative kind of a thought. So that which can the practice that which lead us to the enlightenment in one life, yeah, in one life, one body. We can call it the one body. Means one body means no need to take rebirth again and again into this samsara, or into this, especially in the human dream, yeah, as like the great yogi, the Tibet great yogi Milarepa, that which he practiced very much strongly, and very great devotion without any doubt to the practice, and also to his guru, whatever that he has advised. Milarepa, to his great sacrificing in the sense of sacrificing for to let go of all the samsaric attachment, yeah? Sacrificing of all the luxurious attachment, or the samsaric, which is related to the samsaric, and so that he accepted all his great teachings from his guru, and without any doubt to the guru, without any doubt to the dharma, without any doubt to his practice, and one-sided motivation. So in recently, we can call it the recent time, means, yeah, in this eon that which we call it the eon which is the Kali Yuga, yeah, Kali Yuga, which is the bad eon, we can call it, yeah, the suffering eon, yeah. There are many past, there are 4 different past eons, so each and every eons, the one main Buddha comes to the samsara, yeah, each and every eons. So rest of the past 3 eons, there was a 3 Buddha, and this 4th eon in the bad eon time, yeah, bad eons, we can call it Kalpa Nyingma. And that time, the Buddha is the Buddha Shakyamuni time. So during this Buddha Shakyamuni time, when we look into all the history of our past masters, especially in the Vajrayana, yeah, in the Vajrayana, so then we can see only the Milarepa was the one who achieve enlightenment in one life, yeah, total in one life. Because why we put Milarepa into a special one to achieving enlightenment in one life? Because rest of the masters, rest of the Rinpoches, they are mostly, there comes in the form of reincarnation, a reincarnation of so and so, yeah, like reincarnation of that master in purest life. But Milarepa was the one who is the very, very ordinary person, which has not mentioned any about previous reincarnation of so and so great masters. Yeah, he was the very, very lay person and very much ordinary one. Actually, all human beings and all the sentient beings, we are a reincarnated one due to the only that we are not well-known reincarnation of who and who, yeah, from whom and from where. But even though we all are reincarnated, because previous life, we all have the previous and past lives. So according to our karma, so this life only we have recognized as a human being. But previous life, nobody knows because we are not that special. And at the same is that the Milarepa was also same as that, which is not any kind of a special recognition of the previous life. So he was very much ordinary, yeah, very much ordinary and very much lay being. So due to his karmic connection with his guru and with the great practice of the 6 yogas of Naropa, so very muchly he trained himself to achieve the enlightenment in one life, and he became the one of the great masters of all the yogis of Tibet. So the same as this, the once we get understand about the Mahamudra or the 6 yogas of Naropa, and also as same as the Dzogchen, yeah, the great perfection. So as I mentioned before, the great perfection and the Mahamudras are the different named, especially once we understand clearly, then the name is different. One which we called the great perfection, one which called the Mahamudra. Yeah. When we talk about the great perfection, so we can understand a little bit with the sentence of great perfection means which is something very different than the samsaric situation. Something is beyond the samsaric attachment. So, yeah, we can think about when we say the great perfection. But the Mahamudra, when you hear the Mahamudra, that makes people a little bit confused because it is not very clearly mentioned in the English language as a great perfection. Yeah, Mahamudra, the language is it's used from the Sanskrit Mahamudra. But when we understand the sentence, so Maha is a great. Yeah, Mudra is the same as a perfection. Yeah, Mudra is a perfection, or when we translate the Mahamudra, so Mahamudra, as I said before also one time, that Mudra, it is the many things because it has a very huge, as I said here, it is a very huge to understand very, very much deeply according to the one's own nature of the beings. Different ways of understanding and different ways of even to explain. When we listen to the Mahamudra's teachings, nowadays it has many teachings in the YouTube channel from the many different masters. So each of teachings, when we listen, so each master has a different types of explanation. Yeah. Some they explain it very much deeply that for us, for like us, for the lay person, for the beginners, you make it very confusion to understand what is really talking about. But when we listen to some other masters of the explanation, we can get it know a little bit more clearly than the different ways. So it has a many different ways of understanding according to the experience of the masters. Yeah. So the one of the biggest, most important practice, it is from the Mahamudra or the great perfection. It is the yoga practice, 6 yoga practice, which is to realizing, you can call it the realizing of this illusory body, realizing of the illusory samsara, that what sometimes we use the name of the awareness, aware. So when you really understand the what is the real meaning of aware, aware from what? Yeah. We get confused that we always talk about like awareness of mind. Because all this practice, it is actually to directly, deeply touch to the mind, actually. Yeah. As I said before also. The whatever practice we do in the Vajrayana, it is directly connected with the mind. Because all the negative afflictions that arise from the mind, all that comes from the mind, so just to clear out the afflictions, just to clear out the afflictions. Because when we talk about like, negative of the mind, negativities of the mind, negativities of the thoughts and all these things like afflictions of ignorance or desire and so and so, we knows that everything. Yeah. We knows that the desire, too much of desireness is not good. Too much of attachment is not good. Too much anger is not good. And too much pride is not good. We always know that from the childhood. From the time of being when we go to the school or when we learn something, all the teachers and our parents, they always say, too much attachment is not good, to their children. Control on your anger. Anger is very bad. Anger will destroy all the relationships and friend circles and everything. They always say to us, but we really can't get it permanently, and we cannot put those things seriously or permanently into our mind because we are used to it. Not only in one life, from the many previous lives, we are totally get used to those things very much. And now in this life, when we realize that we are something different, we can do something different, then when we only after when we get into understanding of some source of dharma, yeah, we are trying to connect with some dharma and some with great teachings of the great masters. So then we are only get to realize in this life that, oh, now these are not good things. So now we have to change ourselves. And when we understand about the samsara things, and then we realize that, oh, this samsara is a suffering samsara. So now we have try our best to get rid out of this samsara and to go to experience some kind of a very much the permanent, what you call permanent luxury or permanent peace. Yeah, when we get to search on those things, so then we get to know many different methods. Yeah, different method to get rid out of those things. But we really want to get rid out of those things very fast and very quick. So now what is the method? Just to do something very much like a miracle in one life. So we are trying to search those methods. So when we try to search those methods, then it shows many different methods that which makes us very much confused. Even in the practice, some masters say we do this practice, this deity, we follow this deity. And some masters say we follow not this deity, some other deity. And at the same time, we have only 24 hours in one day. We have only 24 hours in one day, and rest of the 8 to 9 hours we lost just in sleeping. Yeah. 8 hours we just lost in sleeping. And 8 hours, and mostly like, after 6 to 7 hours, we spend in our daily work, in office, 6 to 7 hours, or maybe some days spend 12 hours in one day. Because we are living in samsara, so we have to sort out all the samsaric needed. So that's why we spend our time in work to earn something, like 7 to 8 hours or maybe 12 hours. And rest of the times, like 3 to 4 hours, at the same time, we take a rest in one day. And 2 to 3 hours again, we spend in eating and 3 times a meal and the tea break and all this we spend at 3 to 4 hours. And also like some hours we also for the youngsters and all that in a Western country, after the work, when we finish our work at the evening, we just spend our time in the happy hour with friends. We go to the happy hour and hang out for 2 to 3 hours with the gossip we spend with our friend circle. So then after we realize when we get back to home, and again stress in mind, and then lots of stress and lots of problem of the samsaric things, then we realize the practice. But when we try to do some practice, we have no time. Because most of the time we have spent it already within the 24 hours. So now with the short periods, now what we can do? Because we have also a very big wish, very big wish that to read out of this samsara suffering and to have some permanent peaceful. But in the short time, we cannot do anything. Because within this short time of one life, it is a very, very much little time, even not a quarter time of our practice. Not half, we can say, even a quarter or less than a quarter, we get an opportunity to do something like a practice. Practice of get rid out of this samsaric suffering. And in one life, we are not really that much of, we have not that much of time, and we have not that much of enough for us. The quarter time of life, rest of the life is not, because of we have taken 1,000 and millions and limitless life before, and all of those life we have spent it into so and so things without any practice, without any training. So in one life, it's very difficult to purify millions of life befores, negative and all the negative karmas and all this, because it is not possible. Yeah. So that's why it is the method that once we have concentrated very carefully with a pure devotion, no doubt, and very much, strongly, then we can only do something in just one life. And within a very limited time, we can say it. Because when you see the Milarepa, as I said, in the young age, he accumulate very much of bad karmas, killing people with his black magic. Yeah, he has killed many. He tried to harm many peoples, and even as I said in the Milarepa's previous life, he was not reincarnated, well-known reincarnated of anyone. So that's why very much limited. He has accumulate merit, a good merit. So therefore, maybe more than a half of his life he spent in a remote area, 24/7, no rest, yeah, not even much sleeping, not even much wasting his time for the happy hours, yeah, having a good meal or the luxuries or anything. He was just sitting on one inside the black dark cave, yeah, dark cave. And even he was not sitting on the mattress and good kind of a luxury sofa. He was just sitting on a plain stone. And after when he met the Gampopa, the great master Gampopa, which is the disciple, the great student or the disciples of the Jisun Milarepa. And later, after he received all the secret teachings from the Milarepa, and when he realized the Mahamudra, the Gampopa asked to the Milarepa, how did you achieve enlightenment in one life? What is your main kind of a sacrificing and the goal of your life? When he asked Jisun Milarepa, and then Jisun Milarepa didn't say anything, and he just woke up and showed his butt, yeah, to the Gampopa. When he shows his butt to the Gampopa, and he have seen there was no any skin on the Jisun Milarepa's butt. It was totally plain, and then the bones. He have seen the bones on the Jisun Milarepa's butt. There was no skin. It was totally flat, and only the bones and nothing. And then Gampopa realized that what is his main kind of method of achieving enlightenment in one life. Because he was meditating more than half of his life, more than a half. It's total his life. And then only he achieved. Yeah. Let go of everything. Let go of food. Let go of meal. It was not like that he have never ate anything. He ate, but very limited. Very limited. And then the Marpa, who was the teacher of the Jisun Milarepa, told Jisun Milarepa that as you have sacrificed to receiving the great teachings, yeah, and like I treat to Marpa himself, saying that like I treat to you, yeah, with building. They build like to making the buildings and everything, like this kind of a great sacrificing. He told Milarepa not to do these things to any of your students, because now the time has gone. In the future, the student, they will not have this much of guts, yeah, this much of guts to sacrifice to achieve the Buddha Dharma or the great teachings. So after that, in Tibet, there was no one that who achieved the enlightenment in one life as a Jisung Milarepa. But there is a method. Still, there is a method. So methods are the 6 yogas of Naropa. And also there are many different method too in the great perfection. As I mentioned, the name is different. There are different names of the different practice, but the way of doing practice, it is the same as the 6 yogas of Naropa. Yeah. So the first main of the 6 yogas that we have reached on the topic of the inner heat. So tumo dedu rangbar. So the heat, as I said, which we have already in every sentient being's body. Yeah. Because without the heat, we could not be able to live life. Yeah? Without the feelings of heat or cold. Yeah. Winter time, we feel cold most of the time. And the summertime, we feel very hot. But only the things that we recognize hot because of the sun, because of the weather. But we never realize that we have the heat already in our body, which is comes from the nature. As this body is totally connected with the 4 elements, or we can call it the 5 elements. Yeah. The skin of our body recommends the earth. The blood in our body recommends the water elements. And the oxygen which is breathing in our body is recommended as the wind. Yeah. And the heatness, the inner heat, it is the recommend as the fire element. And the soul, the consciousness which is recommended as the 5th element, which is the space. Yeah. And the time when we give up this body, at that time also, the 5 elements which dissolve into the one and another. And finally, the space dissolve into the wind from our body. And then that is the moment that we detach our consciousness from this body. So the inner heat, the tumo dedu rangbar. So the inner heat, when we realize the inner heat in our body, most of the time, yeah, inner heat we realize from our navel side. Yeah. When we feel hot and we start sweating, first we start sweating our upper body, yeah, from the chest or from the head or from the neck, and then sweating starts and get wet. But to our body, to the lower part, we feel hot very less, but still we feel hot, but not as our upper body part. Because because the inner heat, the burning, yeah, the inner hot, the fire, which is the wisdom fire, we call it the wisdom fire. This is not the fire that we burn something in a in our what you call it, the in our illusory world, yeah, that burn something, like destroying something. It is not like that kind of a destroying, burning something like a, the trees or leaf or something like that. It is not like a burning. But this is the burning that which is, we call this fire as the wisdom fire. Wisdom fire, why we call this a wisdom fire? Because when the real inner heat, when start burning with our practice, yeah, with our great practice and great effort, then that wisdom fire burns the most, the main, it is the ignorance, yeah, the negative ignorance, to burn the negative ignorance first. Once through the wisdom fire, when we could be able to burn the negative ignorance of our mind, then only the rest of the negative affliction will automatically get down. Yeah, they automatically come down, because the ignorance, it is the main kind of the root of all the negative afflictions. Through the ignorance, then desire, the pridiness, and the jealousies, yeah, and all this appear from the ignorance, is the main source of all the negative arising, like the root of the tree, the root of the tree is the main that which hold all the tall tree and all the branches, yeah. Without the root, there won't be any trees, there won't be any plant, because without, there is no any trees that which doesn't have root. It depends on the root, that how strong the root is, yeah, how strong the root is, how big and how much spreaded the root inside the ground, inside the earth, because we cannot see the root, yeah. Root has covered inside the earth, so we only see the earth. That means we only see the illusory of the samsara, but the cause of all the illusory, we never see it, because cause of all the illusory of the samsara, it is the ignorance, but ignorance is hidden. For example, like the root is the hidden, yeah, the plant root is hidden underneath of the ground. If you want to know about the tree, all the explanation of the tree, first we get to know the root of the tree, yeah. Once we get to know the root of the tree, then we can understand about the tree, how old it is, yeah, thousands of years or 2000s of years tree. We cannot recognize just looking at the tree, and we cannot say that this is the 2000 years old tree. Unless we could not be able to check the root of the tree and even the ground of the trees. Then we get to know rest of the trees, about rest of the trees. So same as that. First, we need to get to burn the ignorance from the mind. Then once we get to burn the ignorance of the mind, then we could realize the life, the preciousness of the life, and importance of the enlightenment. Importance of the enlightenment. What is the enlightenment? How needed and how precious is the enlightenment? And also we will get to know about the things of we can understand the suffering of the reality sufferings of the samsara. After, when we burn the ignorance from the wisdom fire, from inside our body. Yeah. Once the wisdom fire, the Tumo Dedu Rangbar, when it gets up and up and up and totally full of our body, and that time we can also feel the inner heat, not only even outside, it can feel also out of the body, and all surrounded of the body, we can feel the inner heat. As we are getting to recognize about all the sessions of the big tree from the outside also. Yeah. So main purpose of that, the Tumo, it is to burn the negative ignorance first. Before that, yeah, and because I have said the first of all, the main sixth practice of the Naropa, it is the Tumo, the inner heat. If these are the main, so then what is the rest of it? Rest of the practice to train, to burn the ignorance and all this in the not really simple way, but kind of a simple way. It is the preliminary, as I mentioned last time also, yeah, the importance of the preliminary practice with the prostration. Yeah. During the prostration, the four foundation practice, the prostration and recitations of the 100 syllables and the mandala offerings, those are actually the foundation, making the foundation strong. Because unless we could not be able to practice or be completing the four foundation practice, the masters or the teacher, they never performed the 6 yogas of Naropa. Because it cannot be possible. Why it cannot be possible? SMS, without making the ground foundation, we could not be able to build up to the house. However, first we have to go through the foundation of the building. So that is the foundation, the preliminary. When we really get into the practice from ourself, from the body, speech, and mind. So then we have to go through the four foundation. And after that, then coming the mind, as I said, we start from the meditation, the Mahamudra meditation, just to calm the mind first. But not much of getting into the very high levels of the meditation, but starting meditation, we start the 6 yogas with the meditation too, because it has to be, comes with the meditation. Because yogas are mainly, first the Tumo yoga, and the first of the yoga, the Tumo yoga, is to maintain the, as I said, the ignorance, clarifying the ignorance, and at the same time, the making this body capable to the rest of the practice. In the sense, during the Tumo practice, there is a 108, the physically yoga practice. It comes with the Tumo. The Tumo is also, when we talk about the 6 yoga, and the Tumo, it is also as same as the foundation of the rest of the 5 yogas. Without the Tumo practice and realizing the Tumo practice, we cannot be able to practice rest of the 5. And also it has said that until we could not be totally complete the great Tumo practice, and the rest of the 5 practice also, it won't be that proper. Because the Tumo foundation is not good. Because of that, we could not be able to truly concentrate on the rest of the 5. And because the rest of the 5, the result of the rest of the 5 practice will not that good. Yeah. So therefore, it is very important to practice concentrating practice of the Tumo. It is the the inner heat practice. And the Tumo inner, not only the inner heat, and also at the same time, first we generate the inner heat, yeah, to all our body. From the navel, first we start burning from the navel, and first we complete the navel chakra of the Tumo, and then the fire goes down to our lower part of the body. We have to cover the lower part of the body. Yeah, the second. Yeah. First navel, completing the navel, and second, completing the lower. And third, and from the navel, which goes up to the heart, yeah, heart level. And fourth, it goes up from the heart to the throat. Yeah. And fifth, it goes up to the center chakra, yeah, from the top of our body. So the fire goes up like that. And this practice, mostly the Tumo fire practice, inner heat practice, it can be done during the winter time. The weather, when comes to the total, like 12, 15 or something degrees Celsius minus, yeah, into the great snows. So we practice the Tumo, the inner heat practice. And then summertime, when the atmosphere, yeah, the environment, when that comes to getting more hot and hot, so then we practice the Tumo, the cooling practice. There's a two Tumo practice, 2 sessions, or we can call it the 3. Yeah. heat, cooling, and then the completing with the 108 physically yoga practice. So these three, it is the main part of the Tummo practice, cooling. Yeah. Cooling is also very important of our body to maintain the temperature of the atmosphere. Because body that we are, what you call it, the nature body, which we are connecting with the outer nature, we can say it. Yeah, outer nature, the environment, according to the getting into a touch with the attaching with the outer nature. Because now really in this moment we not really think of ourselves that we are a part of the nature. We are a part of the nature. We really don't realize the body is part of the nature. Because of that, we are not totally connected ourselves with the outer nature. That's why at time to time, our conditions of the health condition gets low. Yeah, sometimes we get sick. Sometimes we get something very much energetic. Sometimes we feel like we don't have any energy in our body. And we have to take support from the medicines to keep this body awake and energized. But even though sometimes we fail, yeah, the body also not ready to accept the medicine. Yeah. Sometimes it happens with us. As many years we eat medicine, lots of medicine, but we say the medicine doesn't work. Because this happened really. Because medicine are not connected with the nature. Because it's made by the chemicals. And chemicals which is made by the samsaric phenomena, samsaric object. And it is not really connected with the nature. But the body is connected with the nature. So how the nature will accept artificial? It is not possible. How much we try to connect the nature with the artificial, maybe sometime at the beginning, it seems like it's working. But when it gets too much used to the artificial, so the nature also give up. Yeah? That it's a very, very reality. We realize these days, because we make so much, the human makes so much of artificials in this, human world. So nature is also getting worse these days. Yeah. The global warming and the rivers and everything getting polluted. But we human tried to make best. We try ourselves. We put all our mind effort to make something big changes or make something different and something very much useful. But sometimes too much of usefulness we try to make artificial, but the nature does not accept. Because the nature are actually pure from the beginning. That no one has purified. Itself is a pure from the beginning. and understanding that this body, which is arise from the 4 elements or the 5 elements, it is the pure from the beginning, and especially the main kind of the role of this body, it is the 5th element, which is the space, yeah, our consciousness as the space, the main. So this consciousness will not be able to accept the artificials at the end. So that is the why now how to maintain this body, how to maintain this body energetic and energy and totally not changeable. I mean, not like, health changing, like getting worse and better and so and so. So it is only can done by the natural things. And what is the natural? This is the yoga, which is directly connected with the nature. So that is the why we have seen the many great practitioners from the Tibet who lives rest of their lives just in the remote area in the mountain, very healthy. They not get any sick, no cold, no cough, no fever, and how they live without something clothes on their body, yeah, without blanket, without heater, yeah, how they live, because they live with those things, with a great yoga, and that keeps their body maintained to the practice rest of their life. So that is why the yoga practice these days now, most of the people, they get understood. And that's why they are getting, most of the people, they quit gym and they start practicing yoga. Yeah? They try practicing meditation. Yeah? They prefer yoga and meditation more than a gym, more than going to do something, drumbles and all that. Because now the sense of the humor, sense of humor is coming back. Yeah. After the human got punished from the natural all the times, then human realized that now we also have to get in touch with the nature more than the artificial. So everybody is after the yoga practice, is stretching themselves and doing something, and then meditating and concentrating on the breath and all this. It's because of that. It's very simple and very logical. That's why I said all the 6 yogas practice, as I said directly, then first of all, it is not related with any kind of a religious, because it comes from the great Mahasiddhis of Indian Mahasiddhis, Naropa. So that time, Naropa doesn't have any kind of not especially mentioned any religious that time. He only practiced, he realized, and then he transformed his practice to his student Marpa, and Marpa bring that from India to the Tibet, and also in the Tibet, all the 6 yogas has spread all over, and then especially Marpa transferred to the Milarepa, and Milarepa transferred this practice to the Gampopa, and then it spread, and after the Gampopa, then it comes to know and so a sect of the religious, I can say, the Buddhist and the Vajrayana, and even in the Vajrayana, they spread it of different sect into the Kagyu lineage and even into the Kagyu. So there comes again the 4 major and 8 minor. So after that only it's spread according to the religious and so and so. But before, it was not any religious. It was especially the things that which all human being needed to realize it. But we human being only realizing nowadays in the 21st century. More is getting more popular, I can say, yeah, the six yoga. And especially in the Western countries. They're very much focusing on the yogas, meditation, and especially the six yogas of Naropa. They want to know that what is really it is. And most of the scientists nowadays, they are also researching on the meditation and yogas and everything. Yeah. But it was not something new. It was from the thousand years before when there was no any scientist in this world. Yeah. So that cooling, after the generating the heat, now the cooling system always comes from the top to the bottom. Yeah, top to the bottom from inside our body. And to know that, first of all, nowadays there is a pictures and many examples in the social network, yeah, about the chakras, yeah, recommendations of the four. Actually, we recommend the four chakras, but the one which is the fifth chakra, it is not mentioned that much, yeah, because most of the useful to visualize or realize is about the four chakras. It's the most important whenever we do the practice. During the practice time, it is the four chakra, especially. Yeah. The one here, and the all chakras are like upside down in our body. Yeah. One like like cover. Yeah. The two cover. One down here, and from our throat, it is up. And at the same time, from our center, from the heart, then it is like that. Throat is up and center, it is like upside down. And from our navel, then again, it's up. Most of the concentrating, it is within the four chakras and the three channels, three main channels. All these chakras and the channels are invisible in our body. In actual, it is invisible. When we do X-ray, we cannot see the four chakras and three channels. Yeah. We cannot see in the X-ray machine. We only see the bones during the X-ray machine, but we never see the four chakras and the channels. But we cannot say there is no chakra. Yeah. We cannot say there is no chakra and there is no three channels. If we say that there is no chakras in the channel, so then how we could take a breath from nose? Once we take long breath, then we can realize, really, if we concentrate, yeah, from the two nose hole, when we breathe in slowly, we can realize the breath is just getting out from the brain, and then it is coming down into our stomach, and our stomach get full of the breathing, yeah, full of the oxygen, yeah. And also it goes out, we feel it very clearly. And first, when we breathe, the two channels is like that, from nose to the up, and then from up to the directly down, and it connects into the navel, the two channels. The thin, yeah, the small channels are from side by side, from our eye side to directly down. From it goes down from the chest, and then it is connected just at our navel. So that's why we can feel it. Yeah? When you take breath,
if the nose is directly connect with our throat, then when we just take a breath, we can feel it in our throat, yeah? But we never feel that. First, when we take a breath, we feel that it's getting up from the eye side and then filling in our brain, and then only when it comes down, we feel in our thought. Yeah, now we can feel in our thought, and then we feel here, and then later our belly with full of the oxygen. From that, we will get to realize that there is a channel. Without channel, how it goes there? Without channel, when you just take breath, the oxygen has to come over all our chest and our hands and fingers and all, yeah? If there is no channel. But we cannot feel the oxygen in our, hand and arms and shoulders. We only directly feel this. So that's why we cannot say that there is no channel. Channels are invisible, but there is. It is hidden. One more example to feel the channel. When you put the drop into your nose, yeah? When the drop goes inside your nose, you can just feel it goes from your eyesight up, yeah? Eyesight up. And when you just come straight, and then you feel that inside your throat, yeah? Because of the pipeline, the channel pipeline. Otherwise, when you put drop into your nose, you can just feel your on the chest, or you can feel on the shoulders, or you may feel on your hands and fingers, but you cannot feel that. You can just feel it as something going by there and then coming down into your throat. So this is called that realization of the practice. Because without the realization, or we can call the another name visualization, there won't be any practice to fulfill. Everything, every practice, every exercise, it is all and all up on the visualization or the realization. And the third is belief. Most important is the belief. Without believing, there won't be anything happen into our life. Because we all are, our life, the human life, or even all the sentient beings' life is dependent on the believing and trusting and believing. Because from morning to the evening, yeah, and even in our dream, we believe our dream too, which is not real, but still we believe our dream. Yeah, something happening, miracle happening in our dream, we feel very happy. Why we feel happy? Because we believe. Why we feel suffer in our dream? Why we feel tired in our dream, which is the dream which comes with the nightmare. Yeah, we feel very scared and very tiredness and sweating and all this. Why? Because we believe the dream. We believe when our eyes is open, and even we believe when our eyes is shut. Yeah, even closing time we believe. Even we open our eyes, we believe. So our life is totally in the believing. And the practice, especially, it is on the belief. Like the channels. And the main channel, it is in the center line. Yeah. Center line and till the center of our head. Yeah. And now this one also, I will give you an example. When you see the little baby, small baby, yeah, just a newborn baby, when they're born, they are totally, very much sensitive. Yeah, it's just a newborn, very sensitive. And it totally comes from the nature, arise from the nature. So that's why with a small baby, a small kid, we can say, like 2, 3 years old, they don't have any ignorance. Yeah. They don't have any desire. They don't have any anger, jealousy, pride. And that time, when you touch to the baby's head over here in the center, you can feel there, it's very sensitive. But here, you cannot feel the sensitive over here. It's very hard. But why you always feel sensitive on the center? Even now also, even now, but not much. Even now also, you touch your head over here. It's very hard. But just touch into your center over here. You can still feel it's a little bit different than the rest of this. Just in the center, you can just touch. Yeah, just touch from the finger. It's very much more softer than the rest of this. Yes or no? Just feel it. And in the center, yeah, you can still feel. See, it's a little bit like bumping. Yeah, bumping like a spongy type. Spongy. And you hear. So why it is? Because the channel connected over here. From here straight down to the navel. Okay? The main channel. And the sizes of the channel, the main big channel, the size of the channel is as the arrow. The arrow. This much. Not bigger than that. The center one. And the rest of the 2 channels are sizes like what you called, I think you can give an example like the black pepper, the piece of the black pepper. Yeah. Small, rounded, very small, tiny and round. Yeah. Size of this much. We can call it the black pepper size. The 2 channels at the side by side. Left and right. And the center, it is as an arrow. Maybe this much. So through that channel, the tumo, the fire flame, the wisdom fire flame burns from inside of the central channel. Central channel. As same as that when we try to burn some fire, if you want to make fire, so we need to blow the fire, to make it bigger and bigger. Yeah. So same as that with the practice of the tumo, which is the breathing practice, yeah, which we call the breathing practice, and the tumo heat has to be total cover the body and the forward channel within the 108 times of a breathing in and out. Inhale and exhale, 108 times. So that has to be the tumo wisdom to burn up and heat up all the bodies and all the rest of the channels in our body. And taking the breath from the 2 nose and then get down, and the 2 channels, the side by side 2 channels, it is from the lower side, it is both of them are connected inside to the main channel. Yeah. And as I mentioned before also, the fire is not like the simple fire. It is in the form of the A syllable. A. Because the A, why it has to be A syllable? Because all the phenomena, yeah, even the nirvana or samsara, everything is begun from the A, because A is the recommendations of the awareness. Yeah? Appearing is not like appearing from the A's syllable, like something is coming out from the A, but it is only as to recognize. For example, A is the syllable which all the alphabet arise. For an example, in English, A, yeah, the A syllable always comes first, but all the rest of the alphabets, B, C, D, E, F, when you say B, yeah, there is a syllable. If you can concentrately listen to the B, you feel like you are telling a B, but at the end, you can also feel the A. It's a hidden inside the B. Yeah. B, yeah, B, A, C, yeah. E, A syllable is hidden. Yeah. And D. First you say D, but it's end with the A hidden. Yeah. E, F, G. All this has a E, E inside the syllable hidden. So why the syllable? It is given an example of the syllables because syllables or the alphabets are the well-known of all the sentient beings here. Because we all sentient beings has to get to know by the languages. And languages, it is the alphabets and the syllables. Because we all human being talks in a different languages. Through the languages, we get to know. And everything, all the names of the samsaric phenomenons, yeah, all the phenomenons has a different name. And the different names comes from these letters. So from that, we will get to know how the samsara begins. Because in the Vajrayana or in the Buddhist concept, there is no any creatures of the samsara. Yeah, like we say, like most of the people say, like the God created the samsara, God created the world, God creates us. If the God create us, then who create the God? There should be someone. And even we say the God arrives by itself, then why don't we arrive by itself? There's many big questions. And even we say God is not human, then who sees the God? And how he became a God? He or she. Because all these are the realizing and the belief of our nature. It is the nature arising from the mind. So that mind, which is arising from the natures of the mind, so that nature, we call it the awareness or the emptiness state of the mind, which can be anything. There is no any source of, to stop or to finish up or to cancel something. Because mind itself, it is the source of the emptiness. If it is not emptiness, it is a real, then there should be something to stop and start. And the end, or the starting point and ending point. It should be. It is not the emptiness state of mind, emptiness state, then there should be something where to start. And it should be somewhere to end off. But there is no end and start. In every text, every philosophy of the every religious, there is no any source of the explanation that where is emptiness come from. Even there is no any explanation that where the God come from. Even there is no any explanation that the samsara is created by the God. Yeah, the human realm is created by the God, or the God realm is created by the God, or hell created by the God. And even there is no any explanation that who creates the God too. Main thing. Yeah. Because it's all the understanding and arising from the emptiness state of the mind itself. After arising it, then we human have given a different names to recognize them. Table, chair, or light, or house, or trees and mountains, and everything, so and so. Yeah. So there is the thing. And then the fire, the tumo fire burns from the central channel, and the wind, as I said, to blow the fire, to burn bigger and bigger, that goes from the two of our nose, and then just get down, and then it is like touch it into the main central channel, and with that, the fire, which is the wisdom fire, that blows up with the one breath, little by little, more and more and more and more. It has said that it is the fire in one time, the fire has been bigger by 1 inches each time. 1 inches up, 1 inches, 1 inches, 1 inches up and up and up, and then totally cover the body. And then cooling. Now cooling start. Because where the wisdom starts, the samsara, as I said, now you can understand, is all by the arise from the nature of the mind. So what is the mind? Mind, it is the first main creature. Yeah. Mind is the first main creature of everything. So that is the why that has been symbolized as the syllable A. Because A is, as I said, all the languages, all the alphabets, it comes from the A. Yeah, that is the why, because it is the beginning. That's why they symbolize as the A syllable. Yeah. And one another thing is the creator by the mind, and mind also given the name as the A syllable. So now what it became, that one became the most powerful, yeah, that can create anything. Yeah. And to make anything, create anything, so that is the why it is given the name of the wisdom. Understand? Because in our life, the wisdom is more important here. Most of the important thing is wisdom, our wisdom. Because we have a wisdom, so that's why we can do anything. We can learn anything. We can create anything. Human can create, not only the human, but all the sentient beings has the wisdom. The animals and the birds and everything. Yeah. They also have their level of wisdom. So all the birds, they create, they make their nest by themselves very beautifully. Yeah. More beautiful than the human made. Very beautiful nest. And whatever we do in our life, they also do themselves. Yeah. Caring for the babies and growing their babies and everything. So all the sentient beings has a wisdom. So that is the why we have given the name to the fire as the wisdom fire, because it is the main point of starting. And even this body, yeah, how we get this body? Because this body, it is also comes with the two things. Yeah, wisdom, which is symbolized as the red color, and the method, yeah, which is symbolized as the whiteness. Yeah, two things, redness and the whiteness. Mixing of these two things, yeah, the nature, because this is also a nature. It is also a nature not created by anything, not created by any scientist, no made by any kind of a medical, yeah, no any chemical. It just comes nature in our body. So this life, it is also with the two things, redness and the whiteness. When these two mixed, then from that, the human egg, what you call the egg, yeah, create the egg, and then when it grows and grows, so then the baby will come inside the mother's womb and all the shapes, and then we see the samsara. These two is the starting point. And once these two comes, and when we comes out from the mother's womb, and then we see the samsara, the samsara, and then all the happiness, feeling suffering, sorrows, everything that we have as a feeling. So what are those feelings? Those feelings are, that we can call them, the samsara feelings are artificial, or the, what you call, impermanent bliss, yeah? Impermanent bliss. It's true that we feel that now the person who really not much connected with the Dharma or so and so, they think that all the happiness that we are receiving in this samsara, it is the great bliss. There is no more happiness than this. So they take those things as a great bliss, which is the impermanent. But for us, like, that we comes into the form of the practitioner and understand a kind of a great things. So for us, we don't take those as a permanent bliss. Those, the samsaric one, as an impermanent bliss. And what is the great main permanent bliss? Permanent bliss, it is the bliss of the, what you called, the great bliss, which is unchangeable or non-changeable, which is the great bliss of the nirvana, great bliss of the liberation, great bliss of the enlightenment. And even nowadays, some people think that great bliss of the liberation or enlightenment, the people thinks like, we human things like, oh, to achieve the enlightenment, I think we have to die and we have to go to some other, world, and then we can feel those great bliss of the enlightenment. Yeah. Many people, nowadays people think like that. The great bliss is not in the samsara. To have achieved a great bliss, until we die, we do practice. And after we die, then we go to some other world. Like in the Mars or Pluto or some Venus or something, to find a great bliss. Yeah. Because our concept, it's made by our concept, but not. We think it's a great bliss. It is only when we understand and where we totally and totally permanently we get rid out of, yeah, we overcome up on the main 5 afflictions, negative afflictions. And they, first of all, when the great bliss start to feel in ourselves, that the time that when we are about to understand and be aware from the ignorance, first of all, then we feel the great bliss. Yes, some different changes in our mind. Most of the time, calm and peace in our mind. Yeah, not much our mind get disturbed by the environment, from the peoples around, yeah, from the community, whatever they do, whatever they say, not much of affecting to the mind, when somebody just show anger on you, you don't get much anger, we don't get much anger, we just say, it's okay, let go. What is all of those? Those are the great bliss that is starting, we're achieving day by day with our great practice of understanding. Then we feel more and more calm. And even when we say kind of a, miracle happens when we just do the practice, like, something totally change, or something suddenly snow falls, or suddenly, like, something happened. There's no any kind of a happening, yeah, like with the practice or with kind of something, as I said. Not only I say, but the Buddha taught. Yeah? So what is the main changes or achieving from the practice? These things are achieving. This called the blessing. This called the great bliss. The changing of the nature of the mind, transforming the mind, diverting our mind from the samsaric to some, positiveness, something more understandable, more calm, more peace, yeah, more polite, more humble, more gentle. So these are the changes. These are, we can call it the blessing. These are the result of our practice. And that day by day with our great efforts, then these feelings and these things comes into the permanent, always, anytime. So once we get into this total permanently, and that moment, yeah, which never come back to our past, yeah. So that moment, when we totally into it, that is called the moment of the enlightenment, achieving the enlightenment, achieving of the liberation, and totally into the state of awareness that we can call awareness. This is the awareness. This is the emptiness, or whatever we can call it, emptiness, awareness, enlightenment, or liberation, that we should never come back as the past, and always in one level, not getting some changing, not bad, not good, always in one state, whenever. So that is the moment of the full awareness of all the phenomena, which is ultimate, yeah? Other name we can call this ultimate state of mind. So this is the main, yeah? Now we are getting, yeah, more and more about the practice. So from that we get to know why the Tummo practice comes first and why it is important. It is the first of all to purify the ignorance. Unless we could not be able to purify the main ignorance, yeah, to burn, cannot be able to totally demolish the ignorance, we cannot be able to, getting into the path, I mean, the total strong path of the liberation. First of all, even to the bodhisattvas, how they become the bodhisattvas. The first level to become the bodhisattvas, it is they're getting rid out of the ignorance, the samsaric ignorance. So which can be burned only from the wisdom fire flames. The wisdom is the main that which generate the samsara, generate the enlightenment, the main source of the enlightenment, main path of the enlightenment. So to get reaching the enlightenment, achieving the enlightenment, we don't need to go somewhere in different kind of a world, different kind of a universe. No. As the Buddha Shakyamuni, yeah. He practiced in one life. Actually, no, but he has been taken 1,000 different lives. After taking the 1,000 different life, yeah, then he achieved, at the final life, he achieved the enlightenment. Yeah. 1,000 rebirth from the last 3 eons. Buddha Shakyamuni was in this samsara from the past 3 eons. Yeah. He was each and every life, he took rebirth and again purify, accumulate merit and wisdom, and then again into the life, next life, all the life that he achieved, accumulate and purify their negativities, negative karma, and then finally he became the Buddha, well known as a Buddha, enlightened being. And he achieved enlightenment in this human realm, not in somewhere in other kind of a universe. He achieved enlightenment under the tree, yeah, the place called Bodh Gaya, which belongs in the India. The center of India is the Bodh Gaya. So from that we get to know, to achieving enlightenment or liberation, we don't have to go somewhere to find out. Once we understand the 5 afflictions, once we get to transform the 5 negative afflictions into the 5 wisdom, or we can call the 5 nature Buddha, then those 5 natures, the which is we have given the anger, jealousy, or pride, and so, that is, we can understand them and we can see them in the form of the 5 wisdom. And we can feel them, we can see them in the form of the 5 Buddha, which is the 5 different types of the nature of our own mind. 5 different phases, we can call it, yeah? 5 different phases of our mind. So once we realize that moment, it is the moment of, we can call, is enlightenment or liberation or awareness or whatever. So for that, the practice, many different ways of practice, but the 6 yogas of practice, the great perfection practice, the Mahamudra practice is the one of the fastest method to achieve enlightenment in one body, one life, as the Jitsun Milarepa. Yeah. So then we practice the Tumo and then cooling down. Now, the cooling down, it is this syllable of the Hum, yeah, into the Tibetan languages or Tibetan alphabet, that is they symbolize as the Hum syllable. That I think maybe you hear about the, into the mantra, when we recite any mantras. For example, in English, the alphabet starts with the A and end up with the Z, yeah, the Z or Z. And at the same thing, in the Tibetan, the alphabet starts with the A, Om, yeah, and then ends up with the Hum, Ha syllable, yeah, Ha syllable. So this is two, it is the main thing. In the between these two, and the home, the whole universe is between these two. With the wisdom and covered by the wisdom and the method. Within these two, it is the whole universe is under these two. As our whole universe is it covered by the one side moon and one side sun. Yeah. Whole universe. Yeah. The what you call the planets, the 8 planets or the 9 planets. It is just between the sun and the moon. Yeah. The warmness of the sun and the cooling of the moon. Yeah. Without this moon and the sun, the planet is dark and empty. There is no use of planet. Yeah. There is no use of universe. We cannot feel anything in the universe. So universe, the whole universe is between the moon and the sun. So moon also has the recommendations of the sun. I mean, the wisdom, it is the recommendation as the sun. And the method, it is as the recommendations of the moon, cooling and heating. Because without these two, the nature cannot be survived. Yeah. As I've given example from the beginning, as the plant, yeah, plant or trees. Tree need heating of the sun to grow. And tree also need to cooling by the moon, shared by the moon. So then only the plant can grow and last long. So SM is our body. It is natural and connected with the 5 elements. And this also needs the wisdom fire to heating up and also the cooling to maintain the body. Because body, it is the one of the most important thing. Without this body, we cannot be able to do anything. We cannot be able to achieve anything. Impossible. Even to achieving enlightenment, we need this body. Through this body or support of this body, so mind can practice. Mind can be achieve enlightenment. Because only the mind to achieve enlightenment, not the body. Body, it is just to support. As the support to the enlightenment path, to understand something. Because the consciousness cannot be able to, only the consciousness cannot be able to achieve enlightenment. It needs also the help and the support from the body. So to maintain the body is very important. Without the body, because it is not possible to do anything. So to maintain this body and heating up with the, heating up and the burning the ignorance and the 5 afflictions, and then cooling down, cooling down with the great bliss. The whiteness has the cooling power. It is the power of cooling, cold, the whiteness. The redness has a power of the heat, heat and the cooling. So this cooling, it is the great bliss. After burning out all the afflictions, and there won't left anything else to get rid out of. So after completing everything, then relaxing with the great bliss. So when it to join, when it, the red and the whiteness, when it to join, so that is the moment of awareness, or that is the combination of these two, from the body. So then the feeling of the great bliss arise. After our great effort, day and night effort, and we do something, we work on some cases, and just after we solved out the case of problems, then what we feel? We feel very much relaxed. We feel very relaxed. We feel very happy. Something happy that which we cannot be able to express. Sometimes it happens to us, isn't it? Yeah. Something that we have done very good things, and there's something good feelings, even that we cannot be able to express to anyone. Just inside our mind, there's a very much like a very beautiful melodies or very beautiful soft music is running in our mind. Something, this kind of a feelings, isn't it? I think we all have experienced. And we always wish that, oh, now this happiness, this feeling of the happiness may last forever. We feel that. Wow. Like something after the long kind of a work, when we just go to the riverside and taking a rest under a beautiful big trees, having a shade of the big trees and just river flowing very smoothly and the birds are singing up on the trees, then the feeling is something different, isn't it? When we just listen to the birds singing and then the environment, we feel very much relaxed, isn't it? And we, human being, thinks that this is the great moment. This is the great bliss. But after we get back to home, then again, the same situation, discussion with family and, discussing with wife and wife discussing with husband, and both of them are like, under the stress again, which never lasts long. But this combination, which lasts forever, and the great bliss, or we can call it the great experience of the enlightenment, actually. Even to the enlightenment, the same feelings, which is the great bliss, as the combination of these two, which maintain forever, is unchangeable after totally completing. But after we completing the Tumo practice time to time, and then the cooling down and the body and mind and everything, comes to the very much calm. And when it comes down to the wisdom, and then wisdom and the method, these two combine together. And what we do, we just rest on that moment as much as we can. And that moment, it is also the moment that we call it the awareness or the Mahamudra. Because the Mahamudra experience comes with the two combinations of the wisdom and the method. And understanding the wisdom and the methods combination, that is the time of, also we can call it the great awareness, which that time the mind gets totally out of the samsaric attachment. For example, this body is still here in the human realm, in our house, in your home, on the chair or somewhere, but the mind that time is not connected. It has detached for the rest of the time, I can say, not forever, but rest of the time, until we try to stay on that moment, the mind totally is in the control by itself, not controlled by anything, but by itself it has controlled that moment. So that we are trying to be permanent forever. Okay? So the inner heat and the short, we can say the short explanation of the three channels, yeah, three channels and the main inner heat, yeah. Tumo is the main concentration. It is on the inner heat. Heating is the most uh, uh, main kind of a role, we can call it the main role in the Tumo practice. And at the same time, to maintain now the heat and the what you called it, the heat and the cooling, transforming into all our body into the action. Yeah. Yeah. To all into our now spreading all totally perfectly into our chakras, into our all nerves and all inside to cover perfectly. It can be done by the 108 physical yoga. Breathing, yeah, breathing and in the state of the realizing, which is the, we can call it visualizing or the meditation, yeah, that resting after receiving the combining all and then resting into the pleasant moment. That is the moment which is the meditation, concentrating, yeah, mind, realizing of the one's own nature, and then the physical body exercise with the yoga. These three, it is the main kind of the practice or main kind of the exercise to maintaining the mind, or we can call it the yes, maintaining of the mind, because the body depended on the oxygen level, yeah, and the oxygen level depended on our mind. Understand? Because it's a psychologically is like that, For example, at the night time when you sleep, during your sleeping, if your posture is not that perfect while sleeping, so then what will happen? You cannot be able to breathe properly. Yeah, you cannot be able to breathe properly because you will have a breathing problem. And once you have a breathing problem, and then what will happen? Directly it affects to the mind, because mind will not be in the stable. It creates many different thoughts and many stress, and then it just comes to run very fast. And all this affect to self. So that is the why, to maintain the body, maintain the life, and maintain the physical. First of all, during the meditation or Tumo practice, we concentrate the body posture first. Yeah. The 7 posture, we just sit on the 7 posture of the meditation. Yeah, 7 posture. Straightening your body and crossing your leg. Yeah. 2, and then I not looking everywhere, I just concentrating in the one-sided, yeah, or concentrating on the nose, yeah. 3, and the tongue, yeah, especially the tongue, we don't put the normal, we just tongue, just put up, yeah? Upside, just touch upside. And mouth is also not totally closed. Yeah, not closed. Just little bit open. Just a little tiny open. Once your tongue get up, just put on what you called at the outside. Then our mouth will not get wet, actually. Yeah. We will, what you call the speed, or the water, yeah, water will not comes out if the tongue is up. And then the head is not very up, not very down, just as this much of gap, yeah, under your what you call this chin, and then from your thought, just like this, not up, not down, this. And the back, yeah, the back is not totally like too much of back, not like in front. It is it is like the vulture, yeah, the eagle flying in the sky. Yeah, great like that, like totally in balance. So this one not too much in front, not like very down. It's just like this. Yeah. And the two hand, one onto the top, and then two thumbs joining, because this mudra, yeah, this two thumb joining mudra, it is the mudra of concentrating, the putting your mind into the one-sided of concentrating. So even nowadays, you can say, in the yoga, you can see, there's a many different mudras. Some, they just, when they talk, they just do like this, and they talk people, the great peoples, yeah, the great main peoples, when they talk, you can see during their interviews, some, they put their hands like that, yeah, all thumbs crossing, and they just talk like that. Some, they just do like this. They have many different mudras nowadays, the people. This is why, because this makes the mudra makes actually the great changes of the finger and hand. This makes your mind to concentrate in one-sided. Actually, this helps our mind to concentrate. So that's why when you do the tumor practice, the mudra is like that. This is the meditation mudra, which is the concentrating mudras. And during the tummo practice, the breathing practice, that time, the posture is the 7 posture, but they cross from the thumb to the ring finger, yeah, you can just press this ring finger, and it's only this much. The mudra is like that. And this can put just on our lap, yeah, in straightening your body. These two, both hands, this cross just pressing the ring finger side, and then like this, yeah, close all the fingers, and then putting down on the lap, because this represent over here the nerves of this ring finger, this ring finger, we say this is directly the nerves over here, it is connected to our heart. Yeah, this is directly connecting to our heart, this nerves. That's why, because it is our connecting to our heart, that's why when wedding time, they wear the fingers on, ring on this finger. It is because of that, they say when they get partners, and then they put the ring on it, it says it's directly comes to our heart, directly connected to our heart. So the both partners, they have a ring, and then each of their rings connected, yeah, to our heart. Maybe it is because of not to separate forever, yeah, to connect all the time and remind each other all the times, maybe. So that's why. And in our practice, what you call all the kind of negative energies, yeah, in our body, the negative energies, the desire, and all the negative energies mostly enters from this ring finger, actually, this finger. In the psychologically it says or not, but yeah, it is connected to this finger, because it is connected to our heart, and heart and the mind, it is totally connected. Yeah, heart and mind is totally connected. When the negative thoughts comes and connected to the heart, and it's alert to the mind, and mind run out. Yeah, mind runs after all these things. So not to get not to vibrate, affect from the vibrations of the negative afflictions. So first of all, we just press this, yeah, press up these nerves, and then bend our fingers, and we comes to the posture. Because without this, when we take breath, yeah, when we take breath in, that time, with our lack of energy or lack of power or lack of uh what you call it now, lack of power or energy, okay, that time, some which is the most powerful than ourself, which we named as the what you call this, the spirit or a so and so, yeah, spirit, affections of the spirit or demons or whatever. But actually, when now we will get to know about all this later when we talk rest of the 5 yogas. But at the moment, same time, when we take into breath in, that time their energy also sometimes, unfortunately, comes with the breathing in our body. Yeah, their energy, the negative energies also comes in our body and spread all over into our nerves with the 4 chakras. So to not to get that, also this is the one meaning to pressing the ring fingers nerves, and then you do the meditations or the breathing practice. Yeah. So these are the importance, and this is the 7 posture. First of all, to maintain when you do the practice, the tummo. Once our body in the good position, then automatically all the channels, our body and all the nerves, even the blood circulation in our body just follows in the right kind of directions. Yeah. Because if our body is right posture, the nerves and all the blood circulation also comes in a normal level in our body. Yeah. Scientifically it says. And when these two comes in maintaining, these two comes maintained, then our breathing directly, automatically just comes as it has to be. With the body posture, then whenever you breathe very, very peacefully, very calmly you can breathe. And once you breathe well, then your mind, it is, we say our mind always riding a horse of the breath. According to our breathing, our mind runs out. According to our breath, we say. That's why when the breath comes in the right, then the mind automatically comes down. You don't have to catch your mind and calm. No, you don't. We don't need it, because mind is depend on the breathing. And when the breathing is straight, then mind automatically comes. Okay? So these are the important of whenever we do practice, and especially during the tomorrows. Okay, so I think we end up here for today's session. The completing, I think we can say, but completing the part of the first practice of the 6th yoga, which is the Tummo practice. Okay, and now we
Rinpoche,
get
thank you so very much
dedication.
for your precious teachings, and we do hope to go forward together in the future. I remind you all, to the audience near and far, that the next session will be on 28th April, same date, same time. And according to your kindness, we can also schedule more online teachings in preparation of your retreat in Bologna. And I kindly you ask to dedicate the merits.
Deta bole chung gye zawa detan darshin tu sum tu sabbe Shunyibe Gewe Sawatida Tamche Majuru Simshen Tamche Nekab Dewa Danten Dungal Dan Chalne Tardu Lana Meba Yantaba Gyawan Dorje Shangi Koban Tobe Chirdu Tamche Gigam Hawa Dam Melam Gijimba Diyam Chapche Do Sungwara Shu Sunamdi Tamche Sepa Nye Tomne Nyebe Ranang Pamche Chikega Nache Bala Chubai Sibe Solen Rowan Rowarai Sho Lama Kunkam Sangla Soan de Chokdu Kuze Ringwara Soan de Chinle Tarshin Gebra Soan de Lama Dang Dalwa Meber Chingi Lo Tsawe Lame Kuze Temba Dang Kanyam Yongla Digi Jungwa Darshan Mali Sosa Dipjane Nyurdu Sanje Salar Gu Parayisho Ikewa Kundu Yanda Lama Tan Jalme Chuchi Pala Longchushi Sadan Lamgi Yunde Rabzo De Dorje Changi Kopan Nyurdu Sho Changshu Semcho Rinpoche Maje Banam Jejuruchi Keba Nyamba Meba Yang Kone Kundu Bevarayisho Dagi Tusum Gewa Didagi Dikdan Jepa Malu Seshe De Takvara Gewe Sheki Jesung De Sunle To Samgomba Tarshin Sho Minche Wantova Rimni Sungju Ge Tsalung Tigle Jangne Tangme Nyepara Gewa Chiki Rupjurune Dorje Changwa Sala Nepara Sho Dagi Chetan Chikirun Gewa Nam Pelshin Gebe Namge Kamjade Jojo Semchen Kunla Temine Kunjan Techen Pape Sato Isho Nandra Riksum Langa Chuku Ngan Kudan Yishe Rolpan Jamlepe Sapsala Nanjuro Chempe Nyamlen La Yirme Tukje Tigle Rolji Sho Banzer Sato Samaya Manupala Banzer Sato Tino Batisha and the member was Sudo Kayo member was Subakyo member Anurado Membawa Sarvasi Demetra Yaza Sawa Karma Suta Metsidam Shiri Yam Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhagavani Sarvatata Angata Benzer Mami Munza Benzer Baba Maha Samaya Sato. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And with lots of love and good wishes to all of you. And we'll see you very soon on the 28th again. Okay.
Thank you so very much, Rinpoche. Thank you all. Thank you to our translator, Clara, and see you soon. Tashidele.